YouTube, and welcome to this edition of Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. I'm Ronnie Humphrey. Appreciate you guys joining us today. And welcome to all of our new subscribers. 500 new subscribers in the last couple of weeks. I am just blown away. Welcome. Make sure you go back and catch up on our old videos so you can get caught up on what we're doing here on the channel. We're glad to have you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and tell your friends and family about this channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. We're going to continue on this Buick Regal today. We're going to get back on the dash today. I'm actually going to pull the dash back out of the car. We're going to go ahead and install the coil along with all the gauges. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do on the top to black out the top of the dash so we won't have any type of glare coming back in from the light coming through the windshield. So let's get right to it. Fasten your seatbelt and hang in there. Okay, on our last episode, we were just starting to get some stuff mounted to the dash. Buddy had gotten the MSD box mounted, but we didn't get to the coil. That was going to be our plan. So I'm going to mark this location where we want to go just before I pull the dash out. So I'm just going to, I know where we want to put it at. I'm just going to mark one side of it. That way we can go ahead and we'll go ahead and permanently mount it once I pull it out. We'll take our trusty nut driver here and back these out. All right, two more to go. I'm just going to eyeball this for square, and it looks pretty good. Okay, that'll be fine. Before we mount this or go ahead and bolt this on, I want to go ahead and take the MSD box off. I need to pull the plastic off, and so we're always pulling plastic off aluminum around here, but that's what we got to do. So let me take this thing back off, and then we will get the plastic pulled off, and we'll get the gauges cleaned up and see if we can get them installed in here. So be right back with you. Oh, I hate pulling plastic. But it's a necessary evil. This is a new piece of aluminum, so it should go pretty quick. Okay, that's the front side. That's all we're going to pull off for now. And we'll put this to the side. And let's start playing with these gauges, getting them cleaned up. And they're not in bad shape at all. I think we're just going to get them just to get a little bit of, get my pump going here. All right, so that cleaned up. I don't know if you can see, but that's clean enough. And they actually were not running lights in these gauges when the car was first built. So I don't know if I may or may not put lights back in. I'm not sure. It just looks a lot better if it does. Back in 1988 when this car was racing, they were not running races at night. And really, the only thing they pretty much worried about is if the oil pressure dropped. But anyway, let me go ahead and I'll work on the rest of these gauges here, and then we'll get all this wiring cleaned up a little bit. Okay, got all the gauges cleaned up, and we're going to install them in just a second. Before I do that, we need to get the top of this dash blacked out. And the reason you black out the top of your dash is to keep glare off when you're inside the car from light coming through the windshield. Now, we're going to use matte black. What I decided to do was to use vinyl versus trying to paint it. It's not worth trying to get the paint gun out and do all that stuff when we can do it with vinyl, do it real simple. I went to a local sign shop here and they had some matte black. It should be colored gold for what they charged me for it. But anyway, it's going to be cheaper and quicker than trying to use the paint gun and just going a little bit of, go and get just a little bit of paint just to do this much. So we're going to get the rest of this plastic tore off, and then we'll lay this out and get it applied. Then we'll put the gauges in because what happens is the tack is going to go just overlap on the top lip, on the edge, on the top of the dash. So we want that to lay on top of this. So let's see if we can get this plastic off here, and we'll start getting this applied. We're going to try to attempt this ourselves. I think we can figure it out. Since this is pretty straightforward, just one piece. Main thing, I want to get this edge lined up correct. All right, I'm gonna let this sit for a few minutes and let it dry. I may actually go get my heat gun and put a little heat on it to speed the process up. So we'll get that done, be right back with you. There we go. Once you finally get it started, okay, that little delay. Now all the plastic's off. All right, now we'll go back to the MSD box. All right, let's see if we can get some gauges stuck in this thing now. I've actually got to go back and look at some old photos I had because I want to get them in the same position across the dash as they were originally in the car. So when I get that, find that photo, I'll get them all laid out in order. And I do know where the tack goes. That's kind of a given. But let me check this picture out and we'll get them laid out right. Found my old picture I was looking for when we disassembled the car. It's tachometer, then water temperature, oil pressure, oil temperature, then fuel pressure. So we'll get these all stuck in there in that order now. Okay. And now, water temperature, if we can find it, here it is. Okay, I'll get this flipped over and get those clamps on the back, and then we'll go put it in the car and see what it looks like. Okay, let's go put her in and see what we got. That was almost painful, but we'll go slap it in there in the car and see what it looks like. Tell you one thing, this thing's a lot heavier now. Man. Try to be careful with it here. All right. Whew. Okay, I'm taking my pocket knife and just punching a hole 2 different directions so we can get these little 1/4-inch cap screws started. Okay, let's get a couple of them in there, and that should hold it in place now. Good deal. Okay, let's let you take a look at this, see what you think. Alrighty, I went ahead and mounted the switch panel in here as well. So that looks pretty good. They're all in original position, and they're all level. That's the most important thing. I'm just gonna let this vinyl sit up tonight. I got a few screws in it, so we'll let it sit up and dry tonight, and then we'll pop it out tomorrow and go ahead and see if Buddy wants to start working on the wiring. Like I say, we'll just flip it over while it's in here and do the wire from the back side. And I'll just lay a blanket across here or something so it doesn't mess anything up. But it looks pretty good. So that's a wrap for the day. We'll be right back with you. Well, I appreciate you guys riding along with us this afternoon as we got this dash put back together. As I said all along, I'm going to show you every little step it takes to get this car back running again. No matter how painful it is and how slow it is, I want to document everything we do to the car because it is a slow process. We're not an hour-long show where they build a $250,000 street rod in an hour and miraculously comes from a bucket of rust to a real nice street rod. Man, this is just where the rubber hits the road here. But as always, appreciate you watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Tell your friends and family. I'd greatly appreciate it. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you next time on Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. God bless you. Take care.